Local prosecutors and cops have to work together all the time, which can get very complicated.
As a former prosecutor, I can tell you, you work with the police, you rely upon the police, you trust the police are in your office reviewing evidence, examining evidence, preparing for trial, and then have to turn around and prosecute them to prosecute you?
Exactly. For a prosecutor to go after a cop they work with is incredibly awkward. Even when cases go to trial, officers have a major advantage, which is that juries tend to have a natural predisposition to trust them.
Police officers truly get a presumption of innocence, whereas most criminal defendants don't come in with any presumption of innocence. You're swimming upstream. Usually a judge will toss the case at a preliminary hearing, or a grand jury will refuse to indict, so you never even get to trial. And jurors just do not come in with any belief whatsoever that officers can commit a crime. They just don't.
It's true. Many people see a police uniform and automatically think trustworthy. And under the law, the police generally have a certain amount of leeway regarding lethal force, meaning that fatal shootings can be considered legal even if they are unnecessary or disproportional. There is even a shorthand for such cases. It's lawful but awful, which on top of all this, officers can bring in expert witnesses who can present nearly any situation as a potential threat. Take Dr. Bill Lewinsky, who runs something called the Force Science Institute. For years, he has testified on behalf of police officers. Here he is providing a rationale for why it may be okay to shoot someone that has a knife.
Knives can actually be more dangerous than a gun. They don't have to be reloaded. They can be used at close distance. We know that a stab from a knife, or a stab or a cut, can be extremely quick.
Hey, come on. That is not the motion you make when you are stabbing someone. That is the motion you make when you are a teenage magician finishing a trick. Is this your card? But there is no doubt a knife is a dangerous weapon. But what if someone doesn't have a knife? Dr. Lewinsky, could force still be necessary when someone is unarmed?
First of all, it's significant to know that unarmed does not mean they're not dangerous. In fact, the fist may have been the very first weapon that human beings used against each other. In fact, I've measured strikes on human beings by other humans, and the strikes can occur at a speed of 4, 5, or 6 strikes in a second, and some of them really hard.
What is he talking about? The only time a fist is a match for a weapon is during a game of rock, paper, scissors. And even then, it can be defeated by paper for reasons which make no sense to me whatsoever. But that's not the point. Look, defendants are allowed to call expert witnesses, of course. What is weird is Lewinsky has appeared before grand juries, which is where prosecutors are supposed to present their best unchallenged case for an officer's indictment. So why would they let Lewinsky in there? They're essentially shooting their own case in the foot, which is presumably justified because feet were the second weapon ever invented.